All right, today we're going to dive into a story that you might have totally missed, even if you know the Bible pretty well. It's this incredible tale from the book of 1 Samuel, all about three brothers who are basically footnotes in history. But their story, well, it reveals a really surprising truth about leadership, destiny, and how the future is never quite what we expect. Think about it. The story of Israel's first king is massive, full of these epic, larger-than-life figures. But tucked away inside it, you've got these three guys, Abinadab, Ahimaaz, and Ishvi. You might be wondering, why are they even mentioned? What can their super brief appearance possibly teach us? Well, that's the puzzle we're going to piece together today.
So to really get this, you have to picture the scene. This is a huge moment in ancient Israel. The people are demanding a king, a brand new kind of leader to guide them. And the prophet Samuel, he's the one tasked with finding this person. His search leads him straight to the household of a man named Jesse, and specifically to his sons.
First up, we meet Abinadab, the firstborn. He's the first piece of our puzzle, and honestly, on the surface, he looks like a total shoo-in for the job of future king.
I mean, if you look at Abinadab's resume, he is exactly who you'd expect to be chosen. As the eldest, he already held a position of huge cultural importance. Plus, he was already well connected with all the religious and political VIPs. By every human standard, he was the logical, safe, and totally expected choice. So he was the perfect candidate, right? The one everyone was betting on. So why did the story suddenly take this sharp, unexpected turn? This is where things start to get really, really interesting.
The story throws us a complete curveball. Instead of the expected heir, the spotlight suddenly swings over to a younger brother, Ahimaaz. And here you can see the conflict just laid bare. On one side, you've got Abinadab. He represents tradition, human logic, the plan that everyone just assumed was a done deal. But then, bam, in comes Ahimaaz, a younger son, not even the first pick, representing this sudden divine change of plans. Even the prophet Samuel looks right past him at first, until his focus gets divinely corrected. This right here is the game-changing moment. It wasn't about birthright or who you knew. The text points to a divine vision that completely flips the script for Samuel. It's a crystal clear signal that a higher purpose was at play, one that went way beyond any human traditions or expectations. But wait, the puzzle isn't finished yet. There's one more brother, the most mysterious of them all, Ishvi. He adds this final, kind of enigmatic layer to this whole selection process. Ishvi is so fascinating because he's almost a non-character. He's mentioned as the youngest son, but the text basically treats him like an afterthought. He's so minor, in fact, that some scholars have actually wondered if his name was just a placeholder. You know, a generic name thrown in to complete the family list. He represents the person who is completely overlooked, the one who wasn't even considered to be in the running.
Okay, so let's recap real quick. We have Abinadab, the expected choice. Then Ahimaaz, the unexpected intervention. And finally, Ishvi, the unknown afterthought. What does putting these three together actually tell us? What's the ultimate lesson of this whole family drama?
This is where all the pieces finally click into place. See, the story of these three brothers isn't just some historical trivia. It's a carefully crafted lesson about the very nature of a divine plan. When you look at it this way, three powerful themes just pop right out. First, that divine plans often shatter our neat little expectations and traditions. Second, that real leadership is a matter of divine appointment, not just human qualifications or your family name. And third, and this is so crucial, even people who seem insignificant, the Ishvis of the world, play a huge role in showing us the bigger picture. So what exactly do we mean by divine appointment? Well, it's this core idea that leaders are chosen based on their inner qualities. Things like faithfulness and humility, stuff you can't see on a resume, but that a higher power can. It's not about the external things we humans tend to focus on, like being the oldest or having the right connections. And you have to remember, this story doesn't just happen in a vacuum. It's the perfect setup for what comes next in 1 Samuel, the rise of King Saul, who is himself a super unlikely candidate from a minor tribe. The story of Jesse's sons is basically the prelude, teaching us the rules of this new game before the Moan player even walks on stage. The message is being hammered home. Expect the unexpected. Okay, so this is a fascinating ancient story, for sure. But what does it actually mean for us, right here, right now? Why should we care about three forgotten brothers from thousands of years ago? Well, the story actually pushes us toward a really personal and very modern question. There's this powerful quote from later in the book that just perfectly captures the spirit of what we've been talking about. It suggests this divine perspective that values every single person, no matter their status, their family, or whether they seem like an afterthought like Ishvi. It's just a profound statement about our inherent worth. And that brings us to the final, challenging question the story really leaves us with. In a world that prizes clear career paths and predictable outcomes, are we willing to trust that there might be a plan for our own lives that defies our own logic? Can we find purpose even when the path forward seems as unexpected as the choice of Ahimaz or as unclear as the role of Ishvi? It's a powerful thought to sit with. Thanks so much for joining me for this one.